Yes, good evening, my dear students. Good evening, everyone. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to start the session. Please stay signed in. Yes. Good evening, everyone. I am Nitishri S. Bagalwadi, biology as well as science faculty from Sankap. So today we started our Sankap Tapas sessions for Route 10 English medium students. In this session, we are going to discuss regarding a blueprint, how the question paper will be, which kind of questions will come, and from which chapter, from overall concept theme wise, how many marks are allotted for the chapters that we are going to discuss. And in brief, we will discuss important questions on the first concept of biology, that is life process. Yes, let us begin, my dear students, and I welcome all my YouTube students also. Yes, let us proceed. So here, this is a table which shows us the marks distribution for themes and units covered. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಥೀಮ್ ವೈಸು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಯಾವ ಪಾಠಗಳಿಗೆ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಟೇಬಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. So this material has been downloaded from the official website as well as from the respective blogs of the teacher. I am thankful to the board as well as those respective teachers. Yes. So the theme one is materials in daily life. So materials in daily life alli baruvantha units yaudu? Chemical reactions and equations, acids, bases and salts, metals and non-metals, carbon and its compounds, periodic classification of elements. All these 5 chapters, okay, so we'll be having total marks of 25. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ 25 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಮ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಷನ್, ಹೌ ಡು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್, ಹೆರಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೊ ಈ 4 ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ 22 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 22 marks are allotted for the theme world of living. Next theme is natural phenomena. So natural phenomena dalli we have 2 chapters. The first one is light reflection and refraction. The second one is human eye and colorful world. So both these 2 chapters comprises of 12 marks. ಈ 2 chapters ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ 12 marks ಗಳಷ್ಟು questions ಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. Next, fourth theme is how do things work. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಪಾಠಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್. Yes, 2 chapters are there. So from these 2 chapters, total marks we will get is of 13 marks. ಈ 2 chapters ಗಳಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ 13 marks ಗಳಷ್ಟು questions ಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. Okay, let us proceed. The fifth theme is natural resources. So sources of energy, our environment, sustainable management of natural resources. So all these 3 units will come under the theme natural resources. Okay, so this, yeah. So these chapters will be comprising of 8 marks. ಈ 3 chapters ಗಳು ಸೇರಿ 8 marks ನಮಗೆ question paper ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So total marks of our question paper will be 80 and 20 marks will be internal, right? So this is regarding the marks distribution of science subject. Now let us see how our question paper will be. Question paper pattern ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So no doubt ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ teachers, but I will just brush up the things. Even your preparatory question papers will also come in this format only. Preparatory question papers ಸಹ ಇದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. So first question, first main ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇರೋದು multiple choice questions. We will be having 4 options, out of which we have to select one. So ಅದು 8 ಅಂಕಗಳಿಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. 8 questions will be there. Total marks will be 8, ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 mark each ಅಂತ. Second main will be having very short answer question, VSA. So very short answer question ಅಲ್ಲಿ again we will be having number of questions will be 8. Marks ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 16 marks will be there. Total, 1 mark each. Very short answer andre it will be 1 mark each. So total marks will be 8. Next we have 2 marks question. So here 2 marks question, the number of questions will be 8 and the total marks allotted will be 16. Right? The fourth question, 3 marks question will be there. So total number of questions will be 9 and the marks allotted will be for this will be 27. 4 marks question, 4. Out of this we will get 16 question. Total marks will be 16. Andre 4 marks each andre 4 number of question. 4 into 4, 16. 5 marks question ಒಂದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಅಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Out of 3, in any one branch you will get 5 marks question. So 1 will be there. Total marks will be 5. So totally our question paper will be comprising of 80 marks. ಎಷ್ಟು marks ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ? 80 marks ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. Okay na? So this is regarding the question paper, how our question paper will be. And our question paper will be divided into 3 sections, guys. ನಮ್ಮ question paper 3 sections ಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ. A, B, C. Section A will be of physics, B will be of chemistry, B will be of chemistry, then C will be of biology. Okay, C will be of biology. So in all these 3 subjects, okay, you will be having 1 mark question, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark. And in any one of the branch, in any one of the subject, you will be having 5 marks question. Okay, so like this our question paper will be. Now let us proceed. Okay, so as I said, we are going to discuss the important concepts of life process. So what actually we do in Sankalp Tapas? So in Sankalp Tapas, we are going to concentrate on each and every concept. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we are going to concentrate according to the blueprint. So for which chapter more marks are allotted, so that chapter will be discussed earlier and in detail. More and more previous year questions from that chapter are selected by our faculties and will be discussed. And moreover, we are going to discuss how we are going to represent our answers. So ನೀವು ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಇನ್ನು ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಈಗ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. No, the time is very limited now. So we have to focus, right? So that is why we will start as soon as possible and we will give our best efforts. Right, students? Yes. Chalo, let us start now. So life process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. From this we will get the questions. So these are the compulsory or necessary concepts anta helbodu. Yes, my dear YouTube students, any doubt? Yeah. So idralli light reaction, it takes place in a thylakoid region of chloroplast. We know the process of photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? The process of formation of food or formation, synthesis of carbohydrate in the plants in the presence of sunlight is called as photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, we have two types of reactions. The one is light reaction, the other one is dark reaction. And we know that photosynthesis is a chemical reaction, right? So where the light energy will be converted into chemical energy. So in this one, light reaction, what happens? I'm just going to brush up the things. Tumba explain madalla. We will concentrate on the questions. So light reaction alli enagutte? Absorption of light by chlorophyll molecule. So what is the first thing? The chlorophyll molecule will be there. No, it absorbs the light from the sun. Conversion of light energy to chemical energy. So the light energy will be converted into chemical energy. Next one, splitting of water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. So water enirutte? We know that water, carbon dioxide. So these are the two main raw materials. Ivenu vastugalu andre what we can say the reactants which are responsible, which are needed for photosynthesis. Alva? So this carbon dioxide and water, this water splitting where water will split into hydrogen and oxygen. The next one is formation of ATP. Formation of ATP. What is ATP? The energy molecule. Right? The formation of ATP, energy molecule with the help of enzymes. Okay, so this might be asked, what happens during photosynthesis? If this has been asked for 2 marks or 3 marks, you have to write all these points. Next, in the dark reaction takes place in stroma region of a chloroplast. What is stroma? When you see the section of chloroplast, so section of chloroplast alli it will be having the fluid which is called as stroma. Drava ಇರತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದ್ರವ ಇರತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಮಾ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So inside it will be having a bag like structures. These bag like structures are called what? Yes, anyone? Yes, exactly, it is nothing but thylakoid, right? So thylakoid, in the thylakoid this light reaction takes place. In the stroma, here the dark reaction takes place, right? In the thylakoid the light reaction takes place. So stroma dalli enagutte? Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. So carbon dioxide iddiddu alli enagutte? It will be converted into carbohydrate, that is nothing but our glucose. CO2 will be converted into C6H12O6. Why reduction anta karididare? There is a removal of oxygen. Oxygen na remove ಮಾಡಿ again hydrogen and other atoms of oxygen are added there. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. That is why it is called as reduction, right? The next one is photosynthetic equation. Very important. ತುಂಬಾ ಸಲ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? We will ignore this. So sometimes we will write just CO2 plus H2O gives C6H12O6 plus O2 plus H2O. We will forget to balance the reaction. But please note it down, guys. Balance ilde iro reactions ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, label ilde iro diagrams ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. So we are not going to allot any marks for those reactions. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ marks ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So each and every diagram in your final paper, each and every reaction in your paper should be balanced and should be labeled. So 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of sunlight as well as chlorophyll gives us C6H12O6, 6O2 plus 6H2O. Sometimes they may ask in the multiple choice question, which are the dash and dash are the raw materials for photosynthesis. So the main thing is carbon dioxide and water. So which are the products of photosynthesis? That is nothing but carbohydrate, oxygen and water, right? So this is regarding the photosynthetic equation. It might be asked for 2 marks. Next. Next, we know that in the life process, we will learn a lot about the human physiology. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನವರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತೇವೆ. The first system we are going to learn is nothing but a digestive system. So a digestive system is very interesting to learn and also very, what we can say, not very tough, very hard to remember the enzymes, the reactions and all. So here is a very nice table which you can see, guys. So here is a very nice table. So using this table, you can remember. If you take a screenshot or if you just scribble down the things, don't worry, it will be sent. So the notes will be sent. You will get to know how to remember the reactions. Okay. What happens in overall digestion, ಒಂದು simple format ಅನ್ನ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Very helpful for the students, right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, the organ, the first one is mouth. Mouth ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ enzyme act ಆಗತ್ತೆ? Salivary amylase, right? And certain amount of mucus will be there. So this salivary amylase ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ? It converts the starch ಅಥವಾ ಪಿಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So the starch in the food will be converted into sugar, where mouth. So as we know that the food will be there inside the mouth for very few seconds. ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊತ್ತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ food ಬಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So only a part of starch will be converted into sugar. Next, the food will go to the esophagus, that is food pipe. Sorry. So there are no enzymes in the food pipe. So no enzymes andre ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರಹದಂತಹ digestion ನಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. But there will be a movement of a food. So that movement is called as peristaltic movement. The movement will be like this, the wave-like movement. The wave-like movement of the food is referred as peristalsis. Next, the food will go to the stomach. So in the stomach, we will be having a juice. Which juice? Apple juice? No. We will be having a juice named gastric juice. So in the gastric juice, one main enzyme will be present, one acid will be present, one substance will be present. The enzyme present is nothing but pepsin. Pepsi. Remember Pepsi? So you will remember pepsin. So what this pepsin will do? It acts on proteins. P on P. P acts on P. P acts on P and the pepsin acts on proteins, right? Then HCl ಏನಿದೆ? The HCl, or which we can call it as hydrochloric acid, it reacts on the food. It kills microorganisms present in the food. ಅದರ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು? It kills the microorganisms, infectious agents which are present in the food. As it is an acid, it makes the medium, it makes the environment of a stomach acidic. ಆಮ್ಲೀಯವಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಜಠರ ಅಥವಾ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಯ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರವನ್ನ ಅದು ಆಮ್ಲೀಯ acidic ಅನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Mucus is nothing but in Kannada we will call it as lole ಅಂತ. So the protects inner lining of the stomach. So if we consider this as a stomach, this as a stomach. So the inside layer of the stomach is made up of a thin sticky substance which is called as mucus. This is called as mucus. So as we know that HCl will be present inside the stomach. So the wall of the stomach, a stomach in a godegaleniде, the layer of the stomach should be protected from the acidic content, right? So to protect it from the acidic nature, the mucus will help the stomach from the HCl, right? Next, small intestine. The next one is what here? Small intestine. So in small intestine, intestinal enzyme, the enzymes which are present in intestine are, they will act on carbohydrates, they will act on proteins, They will act on fats. So they will act on each and every component of the food. And complete digestion occurs in small intestine. So the small intestine will also get help from the liver as well as pancreas. In the liver, we will be having a juice named bile. What is the function of the bile, guys? It converts large fat globules. The large fat globules ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, these are not absorbed by our body. So it converts the larger one to the smaller one. Next, pancreas. Pancreas will release an enzyme named trypsin. What is that? It is named as trypsin. What is the function of trypsin? It converts proteins to peptones. Protein ididdu ಅದರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಪೆಪ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ರೋಕನ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇಂಟು ಪೆಪ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್. Next, pancreas will also release one more enzyme which is termed as lipase. It breaks fat molecule. What is the function of it? Lipase, lipids. Lipase, lipids. So it breaks the fat molecule. The next one is large intestine. It absorbs excess of water. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಫುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಫುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದ ನೀರಿದ್ರೆ that will be absorbed by the large intestine. Next one is anus. The rest of the material which is regarded as waste will be removed from the body. So this is regarding the digestive system, guys. Next, when we come to the concept of respiration, digestion admele we have respiration, alva. So in respiration, this flow chart is very important. It is also given in our textbook. So please do practice it, guys. Okay. So practice it repeatedly so that you can answer variety of questions if they ask any question from this. So this flow chart comprises the whole respiration process. So glucose will be there. The glucose which will be having when we see the formula, molecular formula of glucose, it is C6H12O6, right? So it will be having what? 6 carbon molecule. So in the cell's cytoplasm, in the fluid called cytoplasm, that glucose will be broken down into 2 molecules. 3 carbon in a 2 molecules agi break down agatte. That 3 carbon molecule is called as pyruvate. Pyruvate will be having what? 3 carbons plus some amount of energy will be released. And this pyruvate, on the basis of the amount of oxygen, ಎಷ್ಟು oxygen ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ, that pyruvate will convert into several products. For example, the first one you will see here. Just a minute. The first one you will see here is absence of oxygen. What happens to pyruvate if there is no oxygen? The pyruvate, which is 3 carbon compound, in absence of oxygen, will be converted into, it will be converted into ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. It will be converted into ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. Ethanol will be having 2 carbon molecule. This is absence of oxygen. All right. Next we will be having lack of oxygen. Andre, when oxygen is not present in a particular amount, when the oxygen amount is very less. So during that time, this 3 carbon molecule, this 3 carbon molecule will be converted into lactic acid and energy. So lactic acid is 3 carbon molecule, right? Pyruvate will be converted into lactic acid and energy. Next one is what here? Presence of oxygen. When there is a presence of abundant amount of oxygen, that time this pyruvate will be converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy. So in absence of oxygen andaga, it happens in an organism which is called as yeast. Okay? Yeast all agatte. Absence of oxygen alli pyruvate will be converted into ethanol. So in our muscle cells, when we are running, right? So our muscle cells will not get enough amount of oxygen. During that time, the pyruvate will be converted into lactic acid and energy, right? So due to the lactic acid ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಕಾರಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, we will get the cramp, sudden ಆಗಿ muscle catch ಆಗತ್ತೆ. The next one is presence of oxygen. This will be observed in all the living organisms like human beings, other dogs, cats, etc. Fine. The Zoom link has been already sent in the WhatsApp group. Yes, my dear YouTube students, you can check the group and you can join the Zoom meeting also. Otherwise, it will be comfortable to join on the YouTube also. Next, the lack of oxygen case occurs in our muscle cells. Next, presence of oxygen occurs in our mitochondria in all the living organisms. So as I said, this flow chart is very important. Okay, next. So in the concept of life process, we are going to learn regarding the respiration, digestion, and the next one, which one it is, that is nothing but transportation. Transportation ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕಲಿತೇವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So ಈ transportation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The transportation in human beings will be carried by the blood. The blood will be having specialized components, specialized things in them. So which are those? Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and blood plasma. So red blood cells kelsa eno? It carries the respective gas, oxygen and carbon dioxide, and it contains a hemoglobin. Red blood cells ige hemoglobin irutte, and what is the function of it? It carries oxygen and carbon dioxide. Next, white blood cell. It helps in, so here it should come here. It provide body defense by engulfing the germs and producing antibodies. What is that? It fight against the diseases. That is white blood cell. Next one is platelets, blood clotting. Blood clotting ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಕ್ತ ಹೆಪ್ಪುಗಡೋದು ಅಂತ. So once you got a cut somewhere, it will start bleeding. But after some time, it stops, right? So why it stops? It is due to the action of platelets. That is called as blood clotting. Next one is blood plasma. It is nothing but the fluid property, the fluid nature of a blood. Adenu liquid thara iratalva. So that property is given by this blood plasma. It will be having 90% water. Our blood plasma dalli 90% water iratte, and 10% will be of organic substance. Next, this is also important. Write the process of excretion in plants. Textbook ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿದೆ. So we usually, there is a chance that, so ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ, excretion in plants. So we have to concentrate on that also, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 2 ಅಂಕಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ 3 ಅಂಕಗಳಿಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. And the sirs or madams who will frame the question paper, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತುಂಬಾ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So they will be trying to give those points. Okay, so write the process of excretion in plants. Alva. So here plants use different strategies for excretion of different products. So ಯಾವ strategies anna use ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? The first one is oxygen and carbon dioxide is diffused through stomata. So we know that the plants will be having the leaves. On the surface of the leaves, a tiny pores will be present which are called stomata. So through these stomata, the oxygen and carbon dioxide gases will be released. Next, the excess amount of water, extra water ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರಿನ ಅಂಶ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it is removed by transpiration. What do you mean by transpiration? Transpiration ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? The loss of water in the form of vapors by the plants. So ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟಾದಿಂದ. Next, plants can even lose some of their old parts like old leaves and bark of tree. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮೂರು ಎಲೆಗಳು ಏನಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡ್ರೈ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ದ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ what we can say the bark and the flowers which are dried no they will fall off. Next, other waste products, ಇನ್ನು waste products ಅಂದ್ರೆ resins and gums. ತೆಂಗಿನ ಗಿಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಗಮ್ ತರ. So that is also excretory substance of the plant. So especially in old xylem cell which can also be lost by plants. So resin ಮತ್ತೆ gums ಗಳು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Xylem. What is xylem? Just recall it guys. Yes, my dear YouTube students. Recall it. Xylem ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Xylem is nothing but a vascular tissue. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡಿರತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು xylem ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲೋಯಮ್ ಇದೆ. xylem ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? xylem ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ whereas phloem transports the food. Just a minute. Okay. Xylem transports the water whereas phloem transports the food. So our xylem inda the gums will be released in the plants and lost by the plants. Plants also secrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So plants ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ತಮ್ಮ waste substance ಅನ್ನ soil ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ it will release. These are the different strategies used by the plant to excrete the substances. Next, explain the process of formation of urine in the human kidney. Next ಬರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? Process of formation of urine. Urine ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಯಾರಾಗತ್ತೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಕಿಡ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ? ಮೂರು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಮ್ಯುರುಲಾರ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ tubular reabsorption, third one is secretion. GTS. Okay. So GTS anta ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ we can write it. GTS. G for glomerular filtration, T for tubular reabsorption, S for secretion. Glomerular filtration ಅಲ್ಲಿ nitrogenous waste, glucose, water, amino acid ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇಂದ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಬೋಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸುಲ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್? Cell of a kidney. The structural and functional unit of a kidney is called as nephron. Next to tubular reabsorption. Now again useful substances from the filtrate. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರತ್ತೋ ಆ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗವಾಗುವಂತಹ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೀಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೀಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ಡ್ ಬೈ capillaries. What do you mean by capillaries? These are the small blood vessels. What are these? These are the small blood vessels, right? So these capillaries will absorb the things which are important for our body. So reabsorption ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Next one is secretion. Urea, extra water and salts are secreted into the tubule. So ಏನೇನಿರತ್ತೆ ಯೂರಿಯಾ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ವಾಟರು, ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಸಿಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಕ್ಟ್ and finally open up into a ureter. So this is regarding how the urine formation takes place in the human kidney. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? The hint is GTS. G for glomerular filtration, T for tubular reabsorption, S for secretion. Fine. Yes, good. Next, just a minute. So until now we discussed ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ. ಸೊ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಸಬ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು those concepts we discussed. Now we are going to concentrate on the important diagrams of the life process. Yes, good. So the first diagram is here, the stomata. Which stomata? ಓಪನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ 2022 2020. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟ ಬಗ್ಗೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ನೀಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ನೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಬುಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 63. ಪೇಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ 63 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟ. Guys, please do attend the session on time, right? The next one is what? Human alimentary canal athwa digestive system anta. So in the digestive system you have to label mouth, salivary glands. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So when they will be giving which parts you have to label them. If you know other parts, also you label them also. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಗೇವ್ ಯು ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಆ ಒಂದು ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, let us take an example. The question is like this: draw a neat labeled diagram of digestive systems. Sorry, one second. Human digestive system. Draw a neat labeled diagram of human digestive system label the following ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವ್ದು? ಸ್ಟಮಕ್, ದೆನ್ salivary glands, small intestine, large intestine ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ 4 labelings. ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ salivary glands, stomach, then large intestine, small intestine. So when they will be giving options to label this, you label it and underline. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ್ದು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಯು ನೋ ಪರ್ಸನಲಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ we will be having schematic sectional view of human heart, the favorite diagram of everyone. So human heart ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. That is there in the page number 72 in your textbook. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಚಿತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಸೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಸ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ us ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಐ ನೋ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅವರು ಚಿತ್ರವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಟು ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇಟ್. ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ ದ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನೇನ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ವಿ? ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಡ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕಲ್ತ್ವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ how much marks will be allotted for the number of chapters. We learnt it, we got to know it. Next, we learnt the important points on important sub-concepts of life process. Now, let us concentrate on each and every kind of question from this lesson, that is life process. The first question, the first main is a multiple choice question. Ondane question eno? Multiple choice question ide. Just a minute. Yes, YouTube students, be ready and open your chat box to answer it. Yes, my dear Zoom students, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ you have to click on your mobile screen. Mobile screen ಮೇಲೆ click ಮಾಡಿ, you will get 3 dots. So when you click on 3 dots, you will get chat option. When you click on chat option, the message box will get open. Okay, so there you can answer your question. The first question goes like this. ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್, ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಪ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಿಯಾಸ್, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಡಿ Skin. Yes, what is your response on this? Who is going to answer this first? I'm waiting. Yes, my dear YouTube students, urea is produced in. Urea ಎಲ್ಲಿ produce ಆಗತ್ತೆ? Pancreas, kidney, lungs and skin. You can use mic also to answer. Very easy question. Yes, YouTube students. Okay. So the right answer is here option B, kidney. The urea is produced in kidney. Second question, nitrogenous waste released by birds is in the form of birds ಗಳು nitrogenous waste ಅನ್ನ release ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. It will be in the form of what? Carbon dioxide, urea, ammonia, uric acid. Yes. Next question. Exchange of substances between blood and cells took place in. ಯಾವ blood vessels ಅಲ್ಲಿ exchange of substance ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ಒಂದು arteries, the B1 is veins, C1 is capillaries, D1 is valves. The right answer is here capillaries. The blood vessels named as capillaries are meant for exchange of substances, right? The next question. The component of blood which transport oxygen anta ಆಗ್ಬೇಕದು. So which transport oxygen is A plasma, B RBC, C WBC, D platelets. Yes. Very good, very quick response. The right answer is that is nothing but option B RBC, because RBC having a pigment called as what? Hemoglobin. So hemoglobin kelsa eno? It carries the oxygen, right? It transports the oxygen. Fifth question. The process of transport of products produced in photosynthesis is as follows. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ the process of transport of products. Products ಯಾವ್ದ್ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ? Photosynthesis ಅಲ್ಲಿ glucose. Then we have oxygen. Oxygen. Next we have water, right? So the process of transport of products produced in photosynthesis is as follows. Suction, translocation, diffusion, osmosis. Translocation means transportation of food. Diffusion, osmosis, suction. Suction is absorption of water. So oxygen is a gas. So overall, we can suggest the right answer is option D. Right? Next. Just a minute. Yes, YouTube students. Yeah. So now we are going to discuss 1 mark question. First question goes like this. Why ventricles have thick wall compared to auricles? Ventricles will be having thick wall compared to auricles. So we know that our heart is 4-chambered. Our heart is what? 4-chambered, right? Four-chambered heart. We have 4-chambered heart. Out of 4 chambers, 2 are auricles and 2 are ventricles. So like this it will be. These are the ventricles, these are the auricles. Roughly I am drawing. So the ventricles wall will be thick than compared to auricles. Ventricle wall ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ thick ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ compared to auricles ಅಂತ. Right? Why it should be thick? Because it has to pump the blood again to the vessels, again to the blood vessels, right? Veins, otherwise arteries. So to pump that blood, the pressure of the blood will be more. To sustain that pressure, the walls of the ventricles are thick. Next one is write the function of lymph. Lymph in a function ಏನು? Lymph is nothing but a fluid without RBC. ಅದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಥರಾನೇ ಆದ್ರೂ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ RBC ಗಳು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ WBC ವೈಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, why in uricotelic animals ammonia is converted into uric acid crystals? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ bird is excreted by uric acid ಅಂತ. ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂರಿಕೋಟೆಲಿಕ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಹೊಂದತ್ತೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಟು ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? ನೀರ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ as the birds are not aquatic animals, those are arboreal or terrestrial animals ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅವು ಟೆರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಟು ಕನ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್, ದ ಯೂರಿಕೋಟೆಲಿಕ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ convert ammonia into uric acid. Next, why is it necessary to separate oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood in mammals? To prevent the mixing up of blood. ಯಾವುದನ್ನ? ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಬ್ಲಡೆಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. ನಾವೇನು ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಬ್ಲಡೆಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. That is why it is necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals. So now guys, today we discussed life process alli yav important concepts bartave anta, and we discussed multiple choice questions on it and 1 mark questions on it. In the next session, with the efforts of you all, with the more participation of you all, okay, so we will discuss 2 marks question, 3 marks, 4 and 5 marks question from this chapter. Okay, please be interactive. Please stay on the session till the last minute so that you can get a maximum benefit out of it. Okay, so let me end up the session here. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.